Hey guys, this is Eric Laflechee. I'm here again at camp in Chiang Mai, Thailand with my friend Ray. We came out here to do a quick interview for you. I get to know Ray about a month ago now?
Yeah, about a month.
Probably a month ago.
Yeah.
And he's been out here in Chiang Mai as well, working on his business, the same that we have been doing, and Derek and Sean that you have heard from before. He's actually only out here for a few more weeks before he goes on to his next destination, which I believe is India.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I'm actually heading out in the next couple of weeks as well, back to the States for Christmas. So Ray, tell me, what brought you here? Is it your first time? What was really the driving factor to come to Chiang Mai?
Yeah, it's my first time in Chiang Mai. I started my digital nomad adventure at the start of this year, around January. So I was in Mexico for about 5 months, freelancing and slow traveling the country. And I was just kind of looking for my next destination, somewhere it's got a low cost of living and somewhere I can really connect with other entrepreneurs. And Chiang Mai seems like the perfect place from my research, and so I'd say, yeah, why not?
Awesome.
Give it a shot, yeah.
Awesome. Before Mexico, were you in the States? Were you in Canada? What was kind of like the history before the trip to Mexico?
So I was in Toronto for the past 4 years before I left. I was working as a front-end web developer in a bunch of different agencies and a startup towards the end.
Nice. Which startup did you finish with before you headed to Mexico?
So it was called Quartermaster, and it was basically an online portal designed for homeowners.
Okay.
Just everything to do with keeping track of your home, your receipts, your documents, referrals for contractors. They wanted it all in one portal, and we were using Angular as the framework, and we were building out this portal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So after that startup, what kind of triggered the I want to go to Mexico?
I guess it wasn't like an instantaneous thing. It's been something that's been in the works for a while. Since about the end of 2014.
Nice.
I ended up reading the 4-Hour Workweek, and
as
many people have.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of just triggered this thing in my mind that there's something more out there. There's a possibility to travel and work and be free. So I guess 2015 I was just kind of researching how I would do it and figuring out the best way to kind of break free.
Pull the trigger,
yeah. And so I think, I was working for the startup, and it was just the right time. I was kind of getting too comfortable with my life, and just decided it's time for a change.
Awesome. So you chose Mexico. Where did you live in Mexico?
I stayed in a few different cities. So I would stay 1 month in Mexico City, then I moved to Guadalajara for 1 month, and then I moved to Puerto Escondido for 1 month. And so I just wanted to really slow travel the entire country and really get a feel for the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you met Sean in Mexico, is that right?
I met Sean in Mexico,
Okay.
yeah. So that's where we met in Guadalajara, and then I ran into Sean in Chiang Mai too, and so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So Sean's still out here, and then maybe South America next year is the goal again?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Awesome.
So a few of us are thinking of going to Medellin, and so that should be nice.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
So when you were in Mexico and until this past month, what were you mainly focused on to bring in income, to continue to kind of pursue this dream and be able to continue to do it?
So at the start, it was mainly freelance work. So I think that was a good transition from full-time to working for myself.
Yeah.
I guess at that point, it was the only thing I knew how to do to make money without actually being in a full-time job. And so mainly a lot of word-of-mouth referrals, and I'd work on a couple of big projects at a time.
Nice.
Up until July, I was almost exclusively freelancing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So when you found your clients, it was mainly people that you knew in the past, or people that knew other people that needed work. There was no Upwork interaction or other portals that were.
No, I never broke into the whole Upwork thing. I tried, and it just didn't work out for me. There's too many people on there. They're kind of undercutting you.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a race to the bottom, and so I decided not to use Upwork to participate. Well, the place I had most success with is kind of entrepreneur forums and groups that I join, and then just talking to people on there, someone would need help with a project, and then I'd jump in and help them.
Nice.
They would refer me to someone else, and so on and so forth.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how do you like Chiang Mai right now? So you were able to do the freelancing work in Mexico.
Yes.
You're starting to transition to another area in Chiang Mai.
That's
How
right.
do you feel the culture of Chiang Mai kind of helps support you do that?
I think Chiang Mai is great in the sense that there are so many like-minded people here. Everyone's kind of in the similar boat, and everyone's willing to share ideas and help each other.
Yeah.
So I think that's really valuable, and that's probably the best part of Chiang Mai for me.
Yeah, for sure. I feel whenever I talk to someone, they're willing to give me what they're doing, how they're doing it, like methodology. They're not asking for anything. They're just willing to give so much that you learn all the time. And when you're in the U.S. or in New York or something, trying to get into the space, you end up finding a lot of courses or communities, but not as much of a friendship that will just kind of help you accelerate. So I feel like that's kind of the key thing for me here.
It's the first time I found that that vibe over here. Yeah.
Exactly. So now you've left Mexico. You've come to Chiang Mai. In the beginning, you were freelancing.
Yes.
Now you're kind of transitioning into a service model with almost a freelancing back end, right? Can you give us a little details about the business?
Sure. So it's basically a productized service.
Yeah.
So it's still doing web development work, but it's just a different business model. It's a shift from going out and trying to find individual clients and pitch the clients to basically having like more of a product and saying, this is what I offer, these are the features, this is the price, there are a few tiers, and the people that see value in it will sign up for it. And it's a good way to scale too, which freelancing, it's kind of hard to scale. It's like it's just you who's doing the business.
Yeah.
Whereas a model like this, at some point I can start hiring people to help me out with the development work.
Nice. So can you give us a little more detail? So what is the business focused on? What niche are you going after? Who's your customer?
Yeah.
Give us those backgrounds about the business.
Sure. So my niche is Shopify stores. So I work exclusively with Shopify stores, specifically with drop shippers.
Nice.
Yeah. So kind of just that I wanted to target it down into that niche, just not to be too broad.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of an expert in this field, and these are the people that I'm going to be targeting.
So are you helping them develop the store? Are you fixing it? Like what specifically are you doing for the drop?
Yeah. So it's an unlimited task support.
Okay.
So basically, they get unlimited requests every month.
Mm-hmm.
I jump in, I take care of theme customizations, modifications, bug fixes, like anything development related that store owners don't want to really take care of themselves, or they don't have the time to do it. So I come in there and I help them out with that.
So you're like the on-demand developer to help with any issues that they have on Shopify, any upgrades they're looking to do, anything that kind of slowing their business down. Instead of having to sit down, go on Upwork, hire somebody, they can literally put a task in the system with you, and then within a couple
48
of
hours.
48 hours, it's going to be taken care of.
48 hours, the task is taken care of. And I think the major problem that people run into too, it's like one of two ways. It's like one, you either got to research everything yourself, and that's time consuming, or you got to hire a developer, which is expensive, because developers usually work on an hourly basis, and if you have one or two tasks, you're spending way more money than you need to be. It's expensive, and so this service kind of addresses that.
I know you're in beta right now, and you're kind of working on the finalized prices, but can you give us an understanding of what it's going to cost, what they actually get over a month period, and so on?
Yeah, so right now we have a couple of tiers based on like a monthly plan and a quarterly plan.
Yeah.
And both plans offer a starter version and a pro version. And with the starter plan, you basically, the same as the pro, you get unlimited requests, 48-hour turnaround time.
Yeah.
But with the starter plan, you get one request at a time.
Yeah.
Whereas with the pro plan, you get 3 requests at a time.
Got it.
And with the pro plan, it's 24/7. So
That's awesome.
if something breaks on Saturday, you still get it fixed over the weekend. So
that's really cool. Now I can see this as a huge value for myself because I have hired developers for Shopify work that charge me anywhere between $5 an hour all the way up to $25 an hour, and there's no specific time frame on how quickly they're going to finish the task, right? So you either have to bid against a specific dollar amount that you're willing to pay, and then you can't add tasks to the list. You kind of have to just add that over time. But if you do it hourly and you have multiple tasks, they could charge you hundreds and hundreds of dollars in a week period just to get those tasks done. So this is kind of a good middle ground between doing it yourself, hiring a developer. You have that on-demand kind of force with you for Shopify. I can see a huge benefit in that. What kind of brought this idea to your head, and why are you specifically targeting Shopify?
So when I was freelancing, I did work on a few Shopify stores. I feel I was working on WordPress sites before, and I think the WordPress market is very saturated right now. There's a lot of developers. There's a lot of web development help for WordPress. Sorry. Whereas I feel Shopify is it's still fairly new. It's gaining popularity, and it's definitely like this. I thought it was untapped at the time. It was a good medium to jump into.
I don't remember the exact statistic, but back in 2013, Shopify had less than 100,000 stores up and running. Now they have well over 350,000.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, so they're continuing to grow rapidly. The drop shipping space is growing exponentially, and the e-commerce space in general is growing exponentially. So if you're able to fit in there and be the support for these guys, it could be an exponential product for you. Now, I know the name is under development as well.
That's right? Yeah.
So I will link down the latest version of the name and URL as it comes in. But what is the current name? What is the current approach for what you're describing the business as?
The current name is Shop Pulse.
Okay.
And that sort of came about with the tagline, breathe new life into a Shopify store. And that's when I was actually building out full Shopify stores.
Got it.
And so I feel the name doesn't really reflect the business model right now. And so I'm in the process of coming up with a few name changes, branding changes, and that kind of thing.
Awesome. Cool. Now, for anybody that's running a Shopify store right now, do you have any thoughts or approaches or watch outs when they're first getting into Shopify that they should take into account when building their site? For example, a lot of the times when I first started building Shopify accounts, I would have themes and or overall layouts that were heavy in graphics or heavy in CSS, so my page was very slow, for example. And sometimes when I installed too many apps, my page would never load. Is there 2 or 3 things that you would recommend to someone that's starting in Shopify to really think about when they're going into this platform?
I think like page speed and optimization, that's a huge one. I think there's a statistic that if your page takes longer than 3 seconds to load, people will just leave and go somewhere else. So it's a big thing to you want all the features in your store, obviously, but you don't want to overdo it. There's a good bunch of websites where you can test the speed of your store. Pingdom.com is a good one, and it actually shows you what's slowing down your site. And so then you can go in there and target each issue individually. That's a big one.
That's awesome.
I think point of focus is another big one. Having like a clear point of focus immediately when you land on the store, that's a big one. A lot of stores try to cram in way too much. It's like a newsletter offer here and pricing discount over here, and then the viewer gets a little overwhelmed with that. So that's another big one.
Awesome. And do you have 2 or 3 or 4 tools that you use on a regular basis, whether it be for your business, whether it be for Shopify, whether it be for your everyday activity, that you rely on a day-to-day basis?
So I think Focus is a good tool that allows you to kind of block out a lot of distracting websites like Facebook and Reddit. So that's the one I use on a daily basis for sure. I use Evernote is a big one for just keeping track of notes and plans and not getting lost in things. Mind Map is really cool too.
Okay. Explain this one. I've seen this one.
So it's MindMeister Mind Map, and it's you're basically drawing mind maps online, and you can go through like flowcharts. Everything that's up in your head, you can just kind of put it out there digitally and come back to it later and see it.
Nice. And then for your business itself, what tools are you using to market it? Are you using ClickFunnels? Or are you using any other tools to help gather the individuals that you need to start the business? kind of some things that these guys can use as they're starting their own business in the future?
Sure, yeah, content marketing, that's a big one. Putting out as much content as I can, stuff that's helpful to drop shippers and other people that are starting out building their stores.
So you're talking about like blog posts and Instagram posts and
exactly,
YouTube posts and so
exactly.
on. Okay.
Yeah, just a lot of helpful advice on how to optimize and grow your store.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm also using ClickFunnels to start off with like an offer where I can produce something of value and then bring them down the line to the next offer, which is like a single task offer, and if they get into that, then offer them the monthly plan. So it's a progression. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, when it comes to finding your store, I know you have your website. Is there anywhere else they're going to be able to find your specific product to help them out? So should they just go to your website and the link below, or are you going to have an app or anything up and running on Shopify?
Yeah, the website is obviously the first place they can go to check out more about the service.
Cool.
But there's an app in the works too that will be released on the Shopify App Store.
Perfect.
Pretty excited about that.
Yeah,
it should be coming out in about 2 weeks.
Nice. Awesome.
And basically it's going to allow people to request tasks and see their task status right through within the Shopify dashboard. That's without you ever leaving the store.
That's really cool. Yeah. That's really cool. Now you're launching in approximate. What's the official launch date for this business?
14th of December
14th
is what I'm targeting right now.
14th of December.
Yeah.
From now until then, and then afterwards, what you have left to do? So like, what's on the list of to-dos?
So much. I mean, once the app launches, I'm going to start an affiliate program.
Yeah.
Where I'm getting influencers to kind of share the word about the service for a percentage.
Yeah.
I'm going to be building out my marketing funnels, really expanding my content marketing plan.
Perfect.
It's a lot of marketing, I
guess.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. The business needs to be in place, the processes need to be in place, and the product needs to be good. But if you don't have any marketing, it doesn't matter.
Definitely.
So you won't have any customers. Now, after this, you're leaving the 14th of December?
Yeah.
Where are you headed? What's like the next 2-3 months look like for you?
I'm going to be going back to India. Okay. My parents live in Bombay, Mumbai, so I will be spending some time with them for the holidays.
Nice.
After that, I'll be going back to Toronto for about a month.
Cool.
And then possibly South America after that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Ray, how do these guys get a hold of you if they have any questions or thoughts? Like, what's the best email, best place to reach you at? And if they have a question, can they reach out to you directly? Yeah,
just go to rayhanv.com. That's like my main kind of business card online. You'll get all the links there for my Twitter, Facebook, email, everything's on there.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So guys, Ray's a perfect example of someone that started in a regular job, went to a startup, decided to move forward into his own freelancing work, moved down to Mexico, and then after the freelancing was fulfilled by the freelancing and he wanted to take the next step, he took a flight to Chiang Mai and started a complete platform around the experience he has, right? So that journey went from worker to participant in a startup to freelancer to business owner. And a lot of people out here in Chiang Mai have that type of journey. And it's a type of journey that gives you a lot of experience and background to help you really drive that business forward when it's time to pull the trigger. So Ray has a ton of experience. Reach out to him, check out his app and his store for any help with your Shopify endeavor. And Ray, thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Hey guys, so that was an interview with Ray. Head over to his website, you can find it below. If you have a dropshipping store or a Shopify store or you sell online and need help, hit him up. He's gonna help you out. He's a great guy. It's a great service. And I'll be making more videos soon, so stay tuned to this channel.